One of the things you may come across as you're hacking wireless networks is a network that just will not seem to let you to connect. Even though you may have the password, it's still not letting your terminal connect to them. Now, why might that be? Well, it's probably because they're using something called MAC filtering. And what MAC filtering does is it actually creates a whitelist of devices that are known to the network and allowed to connect. And if your MAC address of your network card doesn't match one of those, you can't get on the network, even if you have the right username and password. So how do you overcome that? Do you have to steal one of their devices? Well, that's one way to do it, but the other way is to actually change your MAC address on your card to their MAC address. And it's really easy and quick to do. And I'm going to show you how in this particular example. So the first thing we want to do is ensure that our card is still in monitoring mode. And to do that, we're going to do iwconfig. And you'll notice here that my card is still in monitoring mode. If yours isn't, you're going to have to do the shutting down of the card, reconfiguration, and then bring it back up online. Now, once you've verified that it is actually up and running, you want to start scanning for networks and see what's out there, and see if there's any devices associated with an access point that we can spoof. So we're going to use arrow dump ng, and then the card that we're using, which is WLAN 0 MON. And off it goes, starting to scan. You can see we have a couple of access points up here, but we don't have any associated stations with a particular access point. So now we've got a couple here, and the one we're looking at is going to be our web network of wireless hacking, which is this C887. So once I see that down here, we'll see if anything is associated with it. And there one just popped up. You can see that our workstation, this is my iPhone in this case, is 90FD61AC. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel that. And we're going to use that as the MAC address that we want to mimic. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that. So how do we change our MAC address? Well, the first thing we're going to have to do is shut down our network card. First, let's see what our current MAC address is. So we'll do ifconfig. And you'll see here that our MAC address is 00C0 right up to here, those first 12 digits. So we're going to use ifconfig, and then we're going to use the network card itself, which is WLAN 0 MON, and then down. So now the card should be off. As you can see here, it's no longer showing up in the ifconfig. And now we're going to use a program called MAC Changer. And all we have to do for this is do MAC Changer -R, which gives us a random MAC address, WLAN 0 MON. And if we do this, this is going to assign us a new random MAC address. So let's see that. Our current one was 00C0CA844C28, and now we have this new random MAC address. Well, that helps if I just want to mask who I am, but it doesn't help in the case of me wanting to spoof myself as someone else. So instead, we're going to have to actually change the MAC address to the one that we copied off of the iPhone to mimic that user. So how will we do that? Well, just like any command, if you're not sure what to use, just use -H for help. So we'll do MAC Changer -H, and you'll see that you can use the changing of another MAC address by setting it to one that you want. And in this case, it is going to be -M for MAC, and it will set the MAC address. So all we have to do is do MAC Changer -M, paste in that MAC address for the iPhone that we copied, and then give it the WLAN 0 MON and hit enter. And now you'll see that it says my new MAC address is that iPhone MAC address that we were using. So now we would be able to connect to the access point, and it will think that we are that iPhone because we have now taken over its MAC address.